Hi, I'm Evelyn. Welcome to Retire from My Business. I hope you enjoy what you find here. Thank you.
Welcome to Retire from My Business. This episode is talking about what your potential size will have to be to effectively retire from your business. Well, if you want to retire from your business has to be big enough to meet your potential lifestyle. This workbook is designed to help the business owner, who's not interested in growing a multinational corporation, but simply wants a business that supports both needs and wants financial freedom. In the dashboard, you will compute what your potential size of your business has to be in order to retire. Because retirement does not happen by chance. It's something that has to be planned. And if your business is not big enough to meet the needs, your lifestyle needs once you retire, then you're kind of spinning your wheels because if you retire thinking like you would just have the money, it does not automatically happen. So knowing what is required of you is the first step to actually planning to get there. So to figure out how big your business should be, you go to the dashboard, enter the age you would like to be financially independent. So if you want to be financially independent at the age of 55, you put that in there. You enter your age now. If you're 27 now, you put that in there. Your expected life, if you expect maybe your parents and your grandparents have lived to the age of 95, you just compute, look at your family history. Probability is you'll follow the same trend line your family history has followed. It's not always the case, but for the most part it is. And then you expect a rate of return inflation. Average over time, 3% if you live in a country like the United States is reasonable, but in other countries that might be way too low because the rates of inflation might be a lot higher. So just know what the average rate of inflation is. Then you come down here and you write your annual expected living expenses. You put that in there. And then your tax rate at retirement. And then the program computes the rest for you. The equivalent of your annual living expenses is right next to the figure you entered. So in this case, we entered $100,000. And we'll see the equivalent of that is $228,000. So that's what you need by the time you retire. So let us take a look and see what kind of revenue you will need to make in order to come up with that 228,000. Over here, we can see 1.2 million has been computed for us. So the revenue, 1.2 million. You need net income of at least $529,000, and this is just based on broad assumptions. Obviously, it's not specific to your business, but at least it gives you a basic idea of where you need to start from. And then if you have a net income of $476,000, you're able to take away the $228,000 and still have $247,000 to plow back into your business for future growth. Obviously, the assumption here is you do plan to keep your business and not sell it. Once you've found out how big your business has to be, well, you need to really evaluate your market to find out if there is an opportunity. Because if you walk dogs and there are only 5 potential clients, I don't care how hard you work, you're just never going to get big enough to the point where you can retire. So you really need to really sit down and think, okay, is my market big enough to really grow to the point where I can actually one day retire from my business? The first question is asking you to estimate your market size. And the best way to do that is to think of how many people are in your targeted market. So if you were to broadcast your solution you provide to your targeted market, how many people will actually care about your message? Because the number of people who will care about your message is your targeted market size. So if, let's say, you were broadcasting in several zip codes or whatever area you want to cover, how many people in those markets will actually care about your message? So here we're estimating about 10,000 people, so we put 10,000 in here. In the next question, you need to estimate how many people you currently serve. So also here, and for example, to be specific in this example, previously we said we had 10,000 people in the market. Well, if we currently serve 500 of those people, that's what we put there. If your answer is 5, put 5. If your answer is 1, put 1. And just put however number of people you're currently serving out of the potential, or out of your total potential market size. So here we're estimating 500, so we'll put 500 right here. Next, you need to think about your competition. How many people are currently serving that same market you're going after? So if you have like 300 competitors, you want to put that in there. obviously, the more highly competitive your business, your target market is, the less customers you're able to acquire. So here in this line, just put the number of competitors. So here we estimate we have 300 competitors, so we put that in there. Lastly, we need to estimate the average sales price of our product. So for example, if an average, every time a customer comes to you, they spend $200, you put $200 there. So you're doing this on an annual basis. So what does the average customer spend with you on an annual basis? So maybe you sell one product and they buy that once a year. So in a year, they will spend $200 with you. But let's say that you had a service product and was a subscription type product, and they come to you 12 times a month, you put 200 times 12. So here we're just going to estimate 200. We'll put that in there. Scroll down to see the results. So from the previous exercise, we saw we need to make 1.2 million to reach our desired goals. Number of people we need to serve to reach that amount based on the previous information you entered is 6,292. Well, based on the information you entered, it looks like you probably only be able to serve 301, and your potential market share is $60,200. Well, your market is obviously not big enough. I mean, you're only going to grow so much if this is your situation. I mean, obviously these are rough estimates, but just from rough estimates, you can see that this business is pretty much not going to go very far, unless you extend your market. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you just keep spinning your wheels. To get a copy of the workbook, simply go to retirefrommybusiness.com/download, enter your first name, your email address, click on send to inbox. A link of where to download the workbook and a PDF to guide you will be sent to your inbox. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.